Welcome to the Winkler Arena. This is Wayne Kauenhofen reporting live on the Wayne Show. I'm at the Winkler Arena in preseason action between the Winkler Flyers and the Thief River Falls Norskies. And I got general manager
Kevin Mccallum.
Kevin, you guys played last night with Winkler, home and home series. How'd that game go last night in your eyes?
We're young. We had 15 players play their first Junior A game last night. I mean, we played a Tier 3 team the week before, but it's a lot different than going up against Ken Pearson and his lineup. I mean, what a good team he has. Just to compete with him shows us that we have some promise being an expansion team.
So when you're saying expansion team, how long have you been around?
This is our first year. That was our first real test. I mean, like I said, we had a scrimmage against a Tier 3 team, but as our first Junior A caliber game playing against Winkler Flyers, a storied franchise that's been in the league forever, really opened the eyes of our players on how good this league is and how good the Winkler Flyers are.
How many veterans would you consider veterans or rookies on this team?
I'd say as far as playing in the Canadian Junior Hockey League, we have one kid that had 24 games, and then if you want to talk about players that had a couple other junior stints, we may have 4 guys in our lineup that played junior hockey before.
Okay, so how many of those players that played last night would have been their first game of junior hockey?
I think we're at about 15 or 16 played their first game against, and coming up against Winkler, like I said, a great franchise, great program. It really showed the level that these kids have to get to coming out of high school hockey, out of Minnesota or anywhere in the United States.
Yeah, and Winkler's got, if I'm right around 10 to 12 or so returnees from last year. So these guys have been there. They had a great semifinals last year. It could have gone all the way between them or Steinbeck Pistons, and so they know a little bit what it is like losing heartbreak. But I mean, at the same time, the veteran team against a rookie team, it's a little unfair maybe, as they say, but at the same time, you guys put your best foot forward and probably up against a very veteran lineup in Winkler as well.
When we got into this, our coach kind of laughed, when we set these games up, that we might have bit off more than we could chew. But why not go after one of the best teams in Canada and set the bar high for our franchise? If we played like we did last night, we'll compete in our league. And people are already asking, how come you guys aren't in the Manitoba League? I mean, a nice 2-hour trip to Winkler is beautiful. But at the end of the day, there was another American team in the SIJHL, so that's why we kind of looked that way. And you never know what the future brings. The Mjhl is a really good league. My grandfather used to coach in it, and I had an uncle that coached in this league. And, the lineup that Ken's put together, I think he's going to have a pretty good season here in Winkler.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I do follow him a little bit more because it's a little closer to home here for me, but the Mjhl is a good league. There's no question about that. And just with you guys coming to Winkler, first of all, how was the trip into Winkler?
It was good. We got in a bit of a car buckle there at the border. We had some issues there with some paperwork on a couple guys, so they got left at the border. At the end of the day, we had to go through it. I mean, we have 16 border crossings playing in our league. Being an American team in a Canadian league, so. At the end of the day, it was a great trip. I got off the bus and I said this was the shortest junior trip I've ever been on, and I've been in a few leagues in Canada. So, it's kind of exciting, and to have this relationship with Winkler and play for the Goose Cup every year is going to be fun. So,
what can we expect from you guys tonight?
We have our guys that, we really wanted to prepare tonight, and it's not like high school hockey where you play on Tuesday and you got a week off. I mean, we got some guys that really realize that, wow, this is faster, it's bigger, it's stronger, and all I've asked for our guys is to prepare tonight and work hard at it and see if we can get, at least split the series here with Winkler, and if not, just play for 60 minutes.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the compete has got to be there, there's no question, and I guess basically you have a few jobs that I guess are open right now, so I guess you'll be looking at some individuals maybe a little more than others.
Absolutely. There's 3 or 4 guys here that are potentially on the bubble. I got 3 guys coming in next week, and that's going to shift things around. Just like every other team in the country, we're trying to get better. And this has really exposed a couple kids that may be a little too tentative to play at this level, and that's where you really find out is in this exhibition series is where these kids are at in regards to playing in the Canadian Junior Hockey League.
Do you have anybody on your team that would be able to drop the gloves if they needed? Because Winkler has 1 or 2 that aren't afraid to back down.
We have a couple guys there. Our big guy from last night, he's not in the lineup tonight. His passport is on its way, so that's a tough one to lose. Austin Storm, he had 356 penalty minutes in the Western States League last year, so him and Mr. Dick went at it there last night, and that was interesting for our fans in Thief River Falls because they've never seen hockey fights and at the junior level, so it was kind of a different animal for our fans. Myself, who's been through it, and I fought a bit myself, but tonight we're young and that's tough. We got some young guys that they might bite off a little more than they can chew against Winkler.
Would you consider yourself a speed team or more of a let's just work hard team?
We got a lot of speed. You can really tell that veteran difference, though, the way Winkler's moving the puck, the patience they had. And, a few times we got caught being spectators. I almost charged our players tickets for last night for watching as much as they did. But at the end of the day, it's an eye-opener. Now they know how fast the Canadian Junior Hockey League is, how big and strong Ken's team is. So I think we'll be in it tonight. Our guys, we didn't come up here to roll over. So, it'll be a good game.
All right, well, Kevin, sorry for the loss last night. Hope all the best here tonight. Hopefully you guys can go home with a W, a smile on the young guys' faces. And you guys think are going to Winkler Capital next week? Is that right?
No, we go to Fort Francis and Dryden. We start our league in the SIJHL. So I've already been told by my mayor I better win the Goose Cup tonight.
Okay, well, then we'll scrap the Winkler Capital trip. But all the best in your league, and hopefully you guys get some wins and compete in your league as well this year.
Thank you very much.
All right. That was Kevin Mccallum from the Thief River Falls Norskies, reporting live from the Winkler Arena. It's been Wayne Kauenhofen on The Wayne Show. You've been listening to the Manitoba Sports Network.